It was a Texas-sized showdown on the mound at H-Town as Blake Snell outdueled Astros ace Justin Verlander. And Wilson Ramos delivered the clutch RBI single in the 8th, leading the Rays to a 2-1 victory. Tonight, Houston native Nathan Eovaldi goes to the hill against hard-throwing Astros right-hander Charlie Morton. Tonight we welcome you to Houston, Texas. This will be the wrap-up game of this road trip and the final game of this 3-game series between the Rays and the Houston Astros. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the series even at a game apiece. The Rays winners last night in that great pitchers duel. And the guy behind the plates had a pretty good road trip for the Rays as well. Wilson Ramos, who has taken over the #1 spot, by the way, in the All-Star balloting for the catching position.
Well, for good reason. You know, he continues to be good behind the plate, continues to swing the bat very well. You talk about this road trip, 5 games so far. He's hit safely in all 5 of those ball games. A couple of them have been multi-hit efforts. You see him using right field here with these first 2 hits, including a home run here in game 1 of this series. But overall, 7 out of 18 with that homer, 4 driven in, and Wilson Ramos just continues to get it done. Had the game winner last night, a well-placed chopper there over the head of Yoli Gurriel, gave the Rays a win. However, tonight he's going to go up against another strong starting pitcher from this rotation. That's Charlie Morton, having a really good season here in 2018. In 14 starts, he's 8-1. That ERA under 3 at 2.94. That's good enough for 9th in the American League, and primarily gets it done. Power 4-seamer, averages over 96 miles an hour, and that curveball right there, it is a very, very good curveball, and it has been deadly against left-handers this year.
Morton on the mound for Houston. The Rays will counter with the strong arm of Nathan Eovaldi. Born in Houston, grew up down the road, just a piece down the road in Alvin, Texas. And Michelle will have more on Eovaldi when we return.
Houston for the rubber match between the Astros and the Rays. Well, Nathan Eovaldi is on the mound today, making his 5th start of the season. He's actually a Houston native. Here's your Toyota inside look. He grew up about 30 minutes from here and went to the same high school as Nolan Ryan. He said he's been staying with his parents while the team is here. He was committed to Texas A&M, but instead signed with the Dodgers after being drafted in 2008. And Eovaldi spoke with the media about making a start in his hometown.
I've been able to pitch here a couple times now, but I mean, every time I pitch here, it's exciting to me. You know, I'll have friends and family here to watch the game, and you know, the Astros are doing well too on top of that, so it's going to be exciting.
When we come back, Eovaldi looks to get his 2nd win of the season here in his hometown against Charlie Morton and the Houston Astros in Game 3 of the series. The Rays have a chance to take the series. First pitch, right after the break.
Charlie Morton heads to the mound for the Houston Astros in pursuit of his 9th win, and the Rays in pursuit of a series win. Series even at a game apiece. We'll take a look at the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Kevin Kiermaier leads it off, back active, getting back into the Rays lineup last night. Adani Echeverria will hit second. The number 3 hitter is Jake Bowers. Wilson Ramos hits cleanup in front of Joey Wendell. Willie Adames returns to the lineup at second base. Hitting 7th and left is Malik Smith. Carlos Gomez will serve as the DH. Johnny Field is in right field. He'll bat 9th.
Well, Charlie Morton having a terrific 2018. Here's your look, Hank, at his 15th start of the season. The record 8-1 ERA is .294, averaging just about 6 innings a start. And big in the strikeout category. We've seen a lot of that from this Astros staff, specifically the starters. Strikeouts per innings pitch. He's got 105 and 82 2/3. Let's take a look at the defense and see how it's going to Lineup behind him here tonight brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source, and in that outfield left to right we've got Tony Kemp, George Springer, and Josh Reddick. Across that infield, third to first, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Yuli Gurriel, with Brian McCann back behind the plate.
All set to play ball. Charlie Morton came to Houston, a pitcher in search of an identity after stints with Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and the Phillies. And last year in Houston went 14-7 off to that 8-1 start this year. Here's Kevin Kiermaier, and the first pitch, a popper down the left field line, headed into foul territory, and that ball is going to be just into the seats in the first row. Kemp made a mad dash for it from left field. Bregman out from third base, and neither could catch up to it.
Well, you know what? Pretty impressive by Tony Kemp to get there. Look where he's coming from. That low wall, and he's able to slide right by it and down there, almost getting there in time. Great effort and great peripheral vision. I'd have ran right into that low wall, and my night would have been over, Dwayne.
And so would the patron, who otherwise came up with a souvenir. That's a strike to Kiermaier, and the count is 0-2. He just doesn't know how fortunate he is. A little tapper foul. Well, Kiermaier back in there last night. 0 for 5. Happy to be active again after missing 60 games on the disabled list. And a cut and a foul tip strikeout. Kiermaier's out number 1.
You know, that's something to keep an eye on here all night. The curveball for Charlie Morton is a big pitch, obviously, but he has been so very good against left-handers with it, and that's the one. You know, you start that pitch almost middle away, got a lot of depth to it, a lot of tight break, ends up down and in. He gets a lot of swings and misses, and if they do make contact, a lot of weak ground balls.
Well, take a look at this. Left-handed hitters, 178 against Morton. Last year, and this year they're at 184 overall. 1-0 the count to Adeiny Echeverria. Little soft liner caught by the first baseman Gurriel. 2 up and 2 down, and that combination of the 4-seamer and 2-seamer, mostly the 4-seamer, and the curveball have been his weapons here pretty much.
That's the way that he splits the plate up. You know, the 4-seamer up in the zone, the curveball to split it down and below the zone. You get the sinker, you know, get some arm side run with it. It's not the true sinker that, you know, you used to see from him. It's got more velocity.
And Jake Bauers, base is empty, 2 gone. Shift on in the infield for Houston. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike.
Now you see Altuve right here, and so, you know, a lot of times when they don't fear your speed, or at least respect your speed, that'll be pushed out into shallow right. But Bauers moves better than a lot of guys, and so you got to keep it tight.
It breaks down. 1-1. Well, the one thing you heard so much about last year from Morton was the spin rate on that curveball. Up and away, 2-1.
Yeah, spin rate has been a trademark phrase here in Houston.
Yep.
A lot of guys, you know, Garrett Cole talked about him ditching the sinker, going to the 4-seamer, gaining some of that. Justin Verlander, as accomplished as he's been, he was able to gain some spin.
And a tapper foul.
And it's not just an arbitrary number. I mean, you know, you gain some spin in the average 4-seam fastball right around 2,200 or so, and now all of a sudden, you know, you're looking at that 4-seam fastball, and you know he's a little above average with that thing. But look at, you know, the curveball, the cutter. I mean, all those are very good numbers relative to the status quo.
Yeah. were good numbers last year and even better this year.
What they do is the tighter the spin, the more deception. That's what it boils down to.
That's a line drive base hit. Back to cut it off is Reddick, and Bowers going to dig for two. Off balance throw from Reddick, close, and Bowers is in there with that hand on the bag. Boy, Reddick, a great effort to go get it, and turning and making an off balance play with that throw at second base.
And it certainly looked like, with the naked eye, that Jake Bowers was busting it out of the box, and it's a good thing. Right there is where he starts to pick it up. And he had better have, because Reddick turned and guns. Almost got him, and you got to keep that hand on there.
Take a look there. Now, Reddick has 6 assists this year. It's not uncommon for him.
You see Bowers
hustling in.
You see him angle his slide too. Knowing the throw is coming from right field, he's going to go to the inside part of the bag. You see it when guys are, being attempted to be picked off at first. They go to the outside. They go as far away from the potential tag as you could possibly get.
You see a lot of little things out of Bowers like that, both offensively and defensively. Cutting angles.
Baseball instincts is what it is.
It's fun to see. The pitch coming in too high, breaking ball.
Watch the slide. Angles himself inside and gives Correa the smallest possible target. I'm going to give you my right hand, and that's it. Especially now with everything being reviewable, that tag has to get there. There's no area stuff anymore.
So 5 doubles for Bowers. Rays have a scoring opportunity with 2 outs. Ramos 7th in the league, hitting with runners in scoring position at .362.
Now let's take a look at a quick scouting report. All-star worthy, and Dwayne, you mentioned it in the open. He has taken over the lead at the catcher's position. He is very well deserving of that, and hopefully that can continue on. And the red-hot road trip, we talked about that, 7 out of 18. He's hit safely in all 5, driven in 4 runs.
And he takes a fastball, mid-90s right there, and the count is 1-2. .34-year-old right-hander out of New Jersey. Went to high school in Connecticut, in Fairfield, Connecticut. And the pitch a bit wide. It's 2-2. Meyer struck out, and Echeverria lined out. Bowers with a double into right. Now a 2-2 count on Ramos. Taps it foul. Ramos in his career has more at bats than anyone on this Rays club, with the exception of Gomez against Morton. Ramos 5 of 13 against Morton. Gomez, who's the DH tonight for the Rays, 6 of 16 with a home run. Ramos trying to give the Rays the early lead. Two. And that's down. Fastball missing low. Well, in his last outing, Morton gave up 4 walks in a 7-3 win at Kansas City. He walked 6 in 3 2/3 on the road in Arlington against the Texas Rangers prior to that. Now 3-2 to Ramos. Shoots it foul the other way, out of play.
Yeah, and what made that outing even worse, 6 walks bad enough. He also hit 4 guys.
Yep.
I mean, that's something that you don't see a line like that.
3+ innings and 6 walks, 4 hit batters.
All of that in 87 pitches, a lot going on.
Ooh, and not very good. Well, you know what? Shouldn't say that. He gave up just 1 hit. Everybody else he walked or hit.
And he walks Ramos. So Ramos drawing the base on balls. An 8-pitch at bat.
Well,
there's the history, the recent history for Morton.
Well, and here's what's interesting is this right here. You know, he was cruising, and then all of a sudden he pitches against the Boston Red Sox. By the way, managed by Alex Cora, his bench coach from a season ago.
You can't overlook that.
You cannot overlook that at all. Did not have a very good outing, and then after that, things started to fall apart. Where that game were 3+ innings, 6 walks, 4 hit batters. Pitched better his last time out, but still had those 4 walks that you mentioned, and already a walk here tonight after the double.
Joey Wendell at the plate. The fastball at the bottom of the zone, a strike call. Wendell getting his first look at Morton. Wendell 2 hits last night. He had a double and a single. Both those hits coming off Justin Verlander. Drove in 2 with a base hit here on Monday. The hit against Garrett Cole. That just got him. So he's hit by a pitch and the bases are loaded.
Well, here you go. First hard hit ball, then a walk, and then this. Inexplicable. This ball just coming in and grazing the knee of Wendell, nowhere near the zone.
So a visit. McCann goes to the hill, spending some time with Morton. And Willie Adames, who returns to the Rays lineup. Out of the lineup last night. Bases loaded, 2 gone. 1 ball, no strikes. Just with the opening 2-seamer, even that 2-seamer, that's 95, 96 when he throws that. This is down. 2 balls, no strikes. Double, walk, hit, batter. That is a strike. 2-1. Well, he retired the first 2. Bases loaded since then. Baseball foul the other way into the seats, and it's 2-2.
Well, they've been able to push him up to 25 pitches now, the Rays have. He'd love the big hit there by Adames here. Get them a couple of runs. You just wonder if he's going to venture very far from that fastball.
They got back into the count with it. Here it is, 2-2. Breaking ball, a little fly ball. That ball is going to be caught in shallow left by Kemp. The speed of Tony Kemp allowed him to get there and make that catch. Softly hit. Just a little too much hang time for the Rays, and Kemp makes the play. Rays leave him loaded, no score. bottom of the first. Take a look at the starting lineup for Houston, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. George Springer leads off, followed by Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve hitting third in front of Carlos Correa. Yuli Gurriel at first. Josh Reddick at sixth. The DH is Evan Gattis. Ryan McCann will do the catching, and Tony Kemp, who made the catch on that pop fly to short left by Adames, Kemp will hit ninth. Nathan Eovaldi on the hill, and his first pitch is a fastball high. A little bit wide as well. Springer again in the leadoff spot. That'll be a strike, 1-1.
Well, Nathan Eovaldi, he likes to set a pace. You're not going to get much in between pitches with him. Big fastball. You just saw the cutter at 92 to get that strike.
And back with the hard stuff at 98. 2-1.
Well, extremely directional. I mean, he wants to get the ball, get back on the rubber, and just start boring towards home plate as quickly as he can with plus stuff.
Big cut. Now it's 2-2.
Well, it's been a heater, cutter, heater, cutter. Of course, you got to look out for the split. Also the slider. Occasional curve, but mostly the lefties.
And that is strike three called. So a nice job right there to retire Springer, the leadoff hitter.
Well, that was at 92 and stayed on the inside corner. Be interesting to see what that pitch was. It was a cutter that just did not cut. Stayed pretty true. Regardless, it caught Springer, froze him there, and Nathan gets the call.
There's Bregman. Wide to Bregman. Bregman hitting .268. He continues that streak of reaching base. It's gone to 30 consecutive games. There's a strike. 1-1. Fastball at 98. Two and one. Eovaldi setting that quick pace that you mentioned, and Bregman steps out.
That's the only recourse a hitter has. Pitcher's going to get the ball if he wants, gets right on that rubber.
Very wide there. 3-1. 28-year-old right-hander, Eovaldi. A little popper. That'll be handled by the second baseman, Adames.
Let's take this opportunity before Eovaldi gets back up on the hill to give you the Rays defense. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we've got Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Johnny Field. And across that infield third to first, Joey Wendell, Adeiny Echeverria. Willie Adames gets that start at second with Jake Bowers. Wilson Ramos will be behind the plate.
There's Altuve taking the fastball for a ball. One. Altuve tops in hitting at .341. Leads the major leagues in total hits with 102. Stays in. 2-1. There he is atop the leaderboard in average, ahead of Mookie Betts and Gene Segura. a shot headed toward left center field. That's going to one hop to the track, picked up by Malik Smith. It'll be a double for Altuve. Altuve's 20th double of the year.
Dwayne, we did our scouting report on him in game 1 of this series and talked about his hand-eye coordination. And this is a great example of it, getting on top of this pitch and just hammering it. I mean, he is so quick to the baseball, no matter where it is in the zone. And it's not like he gets cheated on his swing and is just looking to put the ball in play. He takes a rip.
Yes, he does. He's a power plant. Swings hard, good coverage.
Nuclear.
Yes. Now Carlos Correa. Altuve at second, 2 away. Pitch is a strike. Nathan Eovaldi pitching here in Houston in front of his family and friends. Won a game here 3-2 back in 15. He's a member of the New York Yankees. He's ahead of Correa 0-2. Won a game 3-2, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits in 6 innings. 4 career starts. He is 1-0 against Houston. Average of a little better ERA, a little better than 2.5. And he throws it right by Correa. Fastball 98 to strike him out. We go to the second inning, scoreless. Ball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Malik Smith to begin the second. Swings through the fastball, strike 1. Smith, then Carlos Gomez, Johnny Field. Liner into center. Springer cuts back to his left. Plays that off to the side, and that turned out to be a difficult play for George Springer, trying to find that line drive.
I mean, bank of lights. What are we looking at there? I mean, it definitely looked like Springer. Here it is, line drive, and he's going to go over like that's getting caught up in something. He's shying away from that baseball, and you can see the sigh of relief when he was able to finally glove it. But think about if that ball gets by him, that is a potential inside the park.
Sure is, because that's headed for the 409 sign out there in center field.
This would have been the bank behind home plate, which I don't know if there even are any. But he definitely had a look at something. Yeah, those are too high for a line drive. That maybe it was us, Dwayne, our booth lights behind us.
Yeah, or maybe in our light-colored shirts, ball just disappeared in that background. Swing and a miss. So the count is 0-2. You know, that's happened before. I think, thinking back a long time, to day baseball. And Kurt Flood lost a ball in center field in the crowd. Little tap. Bregman, and his throw scooped at first by Gurriel. 2 up and 2 down. Whatever it was, Springer had a very difficult time and recovered to make that catch.
Oh, well, he's been all over the place in this series too. I think DH game 1, right field last night, center field tonight. How about Bregman? Bregman's been in the outfield and third base, second base. I mean, you got some versatility on this ball club.
Field takes the first pitch too high from Morton. Pulling off that pitch as it moved down and away from him.
That's just a hard breaking ball there by Morton. That one looks like a slider. It's really just a cutter that you really jump on. It's a little bit of depth with that pitch.
Fly ball lifted into center. Springer a little more routine with that one. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We're through an inning and a half. No score. Nothing. Reminder, kids, the Rays want you to read your way to the ballpark this summer through the Reading with the Rays program presented by Suncoast Credit Union. Kids receive prizes for reading and 2 tickets to a Rays game for completing the program. First pitch, Gurriel pops it up to the right side on the infield, and Jake Bowers is right there to handle that one. So 1 pitch, 1 away. Josh Reddick. Reddick in the lineup in right field. Starting tonight, 6 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Moving a run in the first game of the series on Monday with a fly ball. Upstairs with the first pitch from Nathan Eovaldi. 1-1. He got Reddick to chase a bit right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Nathan Eovaldi, his last time out, he pitched into the 8th inning against the Yankees. Ended up getting charged with 5 earned runs. I know we both agreed that he threw the ball much better than his final line indicated.
He did. That just didn't seem right, did it?
No. No, in fact, he got hit up with the intentional walk, too, before he left the game. And then Gary Sanchez, who was mired in about 3 hits in a week, maybe more than that, slump, cleared the bases with an opposite field double.
Yeah, he gave up a couple singles after getting the first man in the 8th, and then walked Stanton intentionally. And eventually all 3 of those runs scored after he had left the game, but were accountable to his line. Reddick pops it out of play, foul. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. And in that game, Eovaldi made 101 pitches and was heavy with strikes, 75 strikes out of 101 pitches against the Yankees. Popper, shallow center. Echeverria out to make the catch from shortstop. Two up, 2 down. We'll take a look at over the last month what a strike thrower he has been. Topping that list right there at almost 72%.
Pretty remarkable. He's one of those guys that prides himself on trying to get as deep into the game as he possibly can. Know that he's going to be limited by pitch count, so he doesn't really waste a lot of time.
Gaddis shooting one into the seats, foul. Slicing back into the stands up the right field side. Two up, 2 down. It's 1-1. Gaddis and Correa each have 47 runs batted in this Houston lineup. Gaddis coming off that 19 RBI road trip. Hey, there's a strike. It's 1-2.
It's a road trip where just about everything that you put into play drives in a run.
He had 41 at bats, drove in 19 runs.
There you go.
15 hits, 19 runs batted in. Pops it up. Adames out from second base, short center. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros, and we head into the 3rd. No score. Rays facing Charlie Morton, the 34-year-old right-hander tonight. And here's the breakout with those 3 teams that we mentioned he's been with. And since he came to the Astros, he's gone from an ERA of over 4.5 to that 3.38. And look at the strikeouts and innings pitched for 9 innings. That strikeout rate just out of sight.
Yeah, a different record, you know, much like Garrett Cole. Complete overhaul well into their career of the type of pitcher they're going to be.
Yep.
Not going to be a sinker guy. We're going to be a 4-seam power curveball guy.
Chop. It's picked up by Correa. Close play there and out of the shift. Kiermaier's out of there. Yeah, Morton didn't even believe initially that he could throw as hard as he is throwing now. You know, he was a lot of sinkers in 91, maybe 92. But what a remarkable transformation it's been for him.
And a number of guys on this staff, and you know, collectively they've been able to go out and really stake the claim of being the best starting rotation in Major League Baseball. You know, we've seen Cole, saw Verlander last night. Here's Charlie Morton. Still got a couple other guys on that staff pretty good themselves.
Well, when it comes to velocity, you're going to see some. And you see Morton averaging 96.4 on the 4-seamer. Vivaldi at what, 96.9, I think, on his. 2-0 the count. You know, the other thing with Morton, number one, you have to be healthy. And he was not healthy for a long time with those other clubs. I mean, his medical report actually would be alarming. 2-1. You go back to 2011, he had surgery on his left hip, Tommy John surgery. In 2012, surgery on the other hip in 2014. High popper, right side. That's Gurriel in foul territory. So 2 gone. But they've gotten him healthy and changed his approach.
So, take a look at a live shot of the booth. It's trouble with the transmission.
Yeah, I guess. Try just a whiteout.
Well, you've got your white long coat on right now. And those records. How you ever got a hold of Charlie Morton's medical records, I'll never know.
Yep. This one down and in. He's got to give written permission.
There it
you
is.
go.
Live shot of the booth. That is so great.
This one is down 2-0. We have one of the, I was going to say one of the more, but let's just say the most creative guys in the truck in the game.
They make us laugh.
They do great work. Serve humanity well. Two and one. Base is empty. And a nice take there down and in to run the count to 3-1. Ramos on deck. Rays tried to build an inning in the first with 2 outs, but left the bases loaded. And ball 4. Bauer's on for the second time. Well, we'll see what the Rays can do this time with 2 outs. Wilson Ramos followed Bauer's first inning double with a walk. And Wendell was hit by a pitch to load him. And Adames made a bid to drop a softly hit fly ball into left. It had just enough airtime for Kemp with his speed to get there and make the catch. One ball, no strikes. Houston won the first game 5-4. The Rays won last night 2-1. Two and 0.
Well, this has been a couple of times here in this ball game already where you get a couple of quick outs here by Charlie Morton, then all of a sudden the strike zone starts to become elusive. The walk to Bowers, 2-0 here to Ramos, and neither pitch very close.
And now that's going to run the count to 3-0.
And this is pretty indicative of what's happened to him his last couple of starts. They say he'll be, cruising right along, and then inexplicably out of nowhere, he starts to lose it, starts to come undone. The mechanics, he will say, and he will liken it to his front left shoulder. At times, he feels like he's trying to throw the pitch, and so that gets started a little bit too early. He flies open,
and he walks Ramos on 4 pitches. So twice tonight he has given up the walk to Wilson Ramos.
Well, this is where you've got to make it hurt. You've got an opportunity here with just a couple of free base runners with 2 outs. Now you need that one big hit.
Well, Joey Wendell hit by a pitch his first time. Wendell delivered a big hit here Monday to drive in a couple runs. 2 on, 2 out. Wendell playing third base for the Rays in this one. And a breaking ball, and it drops in for a strike. And he comes back again and gets the strike ball on the breaking pitch. So it's 0-2. And a cut and a miss. Right back with it again. Went breaking stuff to Wendell and strikes him out. The Rays leave 2. They've stranded 5 through 3. No score.
Minute Maid Park between the Rays and the Astros in the bottom of the third inning. Well, it is time now for your Chevy Prospect Spotlight. We're looking at infielder Tristan Gray, who is in High A Charlotte, and today he was 3 for 6 with a double and an RBI against the Tigers affiliate, and in the last 13 games, he's hitting .333 with 7 doubles and 2 home runs. He was drafted by the Pirates out of Rice University, but was part of the deal that sent Corey Dickerson to Pittsburgh. Guys?
Thank you very much. There is the minor league report. You know, the Rays for a long time known for developing pitching, and we've talked about the infielders, but we're starting to see an offensive trend in those minor league reports. Brian McCann takes the first pitch for a strike. Into short center field. Here comes Kiermaier. It's going to drop for a base hit. And McCann picks up the second hit allowed by Eovaldi.
And he did not hit it well. That pitch from Eovaldi got in on the label of the bat, really cracked it, and just a soft fly ball that drops in no man's land. Kiermaier couldn't get to it. You see Adames could not get out to it.
Now it'll be Tony Kemp. Kemp with a .313 average. It's the pitch inside, 1-0. Well, a couple one-run games in this series so far, and that's nothing new for the Rays. They're 11 and 19 in one-run games. Houston playing 20, 7 and 13 in one-run games. Double play ball. Gonna have to hurry with Kemp, and they turn the double play. Adames Echeverria to Bowers to erase McCann.
Well, you had to figure it was going to be something sharp on the ground. We know that Tony Kemp can run. We've seen him splash that here a couple of times in this series already, but this ball sharply hit right to Adames. Option pitch to Echeverria. It's it over to Bowers.
Two gone, base is empty, and here's the top of the order. George Springer. Springer caught looking his first time. And it's 1-1. Will be headed home to open a series against the Yankees on Friday night. High pop up on the infield. Echeverria in from short, halfway to the mound, and it's essentially a 3-hitter inning. Double play helped, and we go to the fourth. Willy Adames will lead it off for the Rays in this scoreless game. Adames in the batter's box to lead it off. Goes after the first pitch, a tap foul off the fastball. Adames 0 for 1. Kemp made a grab on a ball softly hit, served into shallow left. Kemp came on to grab it to leave the bases loaded for the Rays in the first inning. Two. Breaking ball. Morton, 34 years old. Never foul. He was a third-round pick by Atlanta in the 2002 draft. Made it to the big leagues for 16 games in 2008, and then was acquired by the Pirates. Tap left side. Bregman throws a strike to first, and Adames is out number 1. Be sure to enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and a lot more. Just download the MLB Ballpark app tonight. Alex Smith. Smith hit the line drive to center field in the second. That Springer had a little trouble following all the way, but he managed to make the catch anyway. Fastball, and Smith misses. Strike 1. Springer was in right field last night. Center field tonight. Stays wide. 1-1. Morton 1 year in Pittsburgh was 2-12. He made 17 starts, had 14 decisions, and lost 12 of them. Ground ball. There's a base hit. Altuve getting that glove down, but just not within his reach. Alex Smith is aboard. Rays put some speed on first base, collecting their second hit.
Well, you're one out here into the fourth inning as Malix is able to get this by Altuve, who, by the way, was not playing at his normal depth because of the speed of Malix Smith, and he used that to his advantage to cut down on his range. But a ton of base runners so far. 6th base runner for the Rays. At some point, you got to start to cash in that fear of it start to drying up as the game moves on.
Smith not wasting any time, takes off, and Gomez fouls this one into the upper deck. Back of first. Malix had a great jump.
He did, and for a guy that a lot of teams don't run on. They've been successful when they have, but only 2 attempts on the season against Morton, coming in and over 82 innings of work. Pretty good for a right-hander. Very good for a right-hander, actually.
Gurriel holding Alex Smith on first base. Alex picked up a steal in the 9th inning of last night's game. It's down to Gomez, 1-1. The opposition against Houston, successful 33 out of 44 stolen base attempts. Alex on the move, and a ground ball third, grabbed by Bregman. Out at first, Smith trying to go to third. They're going to throw it away. Malix will come around to score. The Rays grab the first run. The speed of Malix Smith produces a run for the Rays here in the 4th inning.
Well, and the thing about it is, Malix fortunate Yeah, I guess you press the envelope here against this starting rotation. He's off with the pitch. The ground ball to third, and they're going to take that over to first. And then he does not hesitate, but an accurate throw here, and you may have a chance to get him. But you could see Gurriel, who let the chopper get over his head last night, was well wide on that throw. And the Rays do plate that first run.
So the Rays get a run on the bad throw by Gurriel. The pitch to Field is wide. 1 ball, no strikes. So Smith breaking on that pitch as Gomez is thrown out at first. The attempt to move to third, and the throwing error by Gurriel allows Malik Smith to score. Now a ball and a strike. Two. Little tapper, third base side, foul ball. There's 66 pitches, 2 outs into the 4th inning for Morton. Rays pushed him for 26 in the first, only 8 in the second, 18 in the third. 1-2, little check swing and a tapper. McCann with the pickup, and they throw down to first. Will retire Field, and the Rays, they pick up a run, and we go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Tampa Bay. It was on this day, 2012, Chris Archer made his emotional Major League debut in Washington, D.C. Archer working 6 innings, giving up just 1 earned run and striking out 7 back in 2012. Nathan Eovaldi on the hill for the Rays. Alex Bregman leading it off for Houston. And a long look this time. Interesting in this case, you know, Bregman was stepping out on Eovaldi the last time, trying to break his rhythm, and Eovaldi just stood out there and made Bregman wait this time until he stepped out.
You want some time? Here you go. Here you go, a little gamesmanship.
Pitch a little close. 2-0. Altuve next, and then Correa. There's a strike. Fastball poured in there at 97. And the tap foul will even the count.
It'll be interesting to see when Nathan Eovaldi decides to quick pitch. You know, we've seen him do that before. Might be right here. You know, if you're going to toy with Bregman from the beginning of the at-bat, this would be the time to go with that no leg kick with 2 strikes.
And he fouls this pitch back. Normal delivery right there. Well, whatever it takes to get an advantage.
I mean, all you're doing at the end of the day out there is trying to mess with a hitter's timing. You can do that by the pitches that you throw, the sequences that you create, your delivery. I mean, you don't recommend that. You want guys to have a nice, clean delivery that's repeatable. But you know, if you're a little advanced, there's nothing wrong with throwing in a wrinkle here or there.
And there is strike 3 call. So 1 away here in the 4th inning on the call 3rd strike. Let's check in with Michelle.
Yeah, guys, well, I asked Eovaldi about the variance in his delivery, and he said it's something that he started trying during his rehab from his second Tommy John in order to mess with the hitter's timing, like you guys said. He modeled it after Marcus Stroman and said that after he tried it out, he felt he was able to stay consistent in the last part of his delivery, so he's been working on that, and pitching coach Kyle Snyder was all for it. And then I asked Eovaldi, when do you do it and how often? And he said it's genuinely so random that he doesn't even know when he's going to do it. So talk about throwing off hitters' timing.
Yeah, just when it feels right. There's a breaking ball that stayed up and in on Altuve. That breaking pitch just wouldn't bite. And it's 1-1. Well, that quick pitch, truly a secret weapon if you don't know when it's going to be used. There's a long window out of here. There was no doubt about that one. Altuve hits his 6th home run of the year, and that ties this game. Altuve doubled his first time up and hits one out his 2nd time up.
And Nathan Eovaldi trying to come right back with that breaking ball, and Altuve, that ball just was flat and right out over the middle of the plate. The pitch was recognized early, leg kick swing. That was a shot.
It's up there on the tracks. Carlos Correa steps in. The fastball up at 98. Correa trying to catch up. Strike 1. 5th home run given up by Eovaldi this year. And this is his 5th start. It's a foul the other way. 0-2. The Rays with a run at the top of the inning. Houston back with a run at the bottom. And close, just a little bit wide. You can see Ramos holding that pitch out there for Nick Lins, the plate umpire. Still a ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball, tough play, backhanded by Echeverria, and the throw to first not going to be in time. Correa in the hole, and Echeverria made the stop in the throw, but just could not get it there in time. A base hit for Correa.
So deep into the hole and short, having to move a long way, able to glove it, then the jump throw, impressive on that. Just too much athleticism, too much speed getting up the line.
Here's Yuli Gurriel. A little wide there. Gurriel 0 for 3 with a walk in the game last night. Drove in a couple runs with 2 hits in the first game of the series on Monday. Finds the zone. The upper reaches. 1-1. Foul the other way.
Really, Baldy he does not shy away. He's got one style of pitching. You know, you give up the home run to Altuve, you know, infield hit to Correa, and he just continues to attack that zone. Good reason why there. It gets that fastball to 99.
And he pops him up. Foul ball. Will it be playable? Bowers near the dugout, and that's just off the edge of the dugout roof. Count remains 1-2.
Well, you look at the foul territory here compared to a place like even, well, the Coliseum out in Oakland and all that extra foul territory where pitchers can get some outs, and you do not have a whole lot to work with here.
No, not much at all. As we mentioned last night, just from the plate to the backstop directly behind the plate's only 49 feet. Ground ball, sharply hit. Echeverria out at second, and Adames could not unload it and hangs on, but they get the force at second on an outstanding stop and feed by Echeverria.
And that ball was hit sharply enough that even with Echeverria's range, you thought, you know what, this ball may get into center. Not to be. Boy, he flipped that almost backwards. You know, his dive here takes him almost all the way around, and then you talk about a flip pitch. Not off to the side, but straight back.
Two gone. Here's Josh Reddick. And he lifts a popper back of first. Bowers, and now Adames. Adames makes the catch. Houston out in the fourth, settling for a run on the Altuve home run. 1-1 ball game. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By El Dorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. Top of the order for the Rays, Kevin Kiermaier. Swinging over the first pitch, strike one. Breaking ball. Kiermaier 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out tonight. The curveball is a strike.
Well, that's another reason why that pitch is so dangerous against these lefties for Morton. He can drop it down and in. He can backdoor it. Uses that pitch to both sides of the plate.
And the fastball after 2 curveballs. Here's 95.
That's a pyramid. I mean, that really is a pyramid. Curveball down and in. Curveball down and away, fastball up middle. That is just perfect.
Zdeni Echeverria. And a curveball. Strike one. He starts the right-handed hitting Echeverria with that curve in there to get the call strike. One and one. Shot into left field. That ball is caught by Kemp. Kemp wound up in the sitting position to make that catch.
You know what? Here's the thing, and he's explaining it right now to his center fielder out there in George Springer. That ball was well struck, and he went back thinking where it was going to end up. But as he was showing, that ball died in a hurry. Whether it had top spin or knuckling action, almost ran too far, but able to maintain concentration and catch that falling back.
Yeah, he made that catch much to the amusement of Springer in center field.
Yep. See it right there. Look, that had some 12-6 to it, Georgie.
Hit him a breaking ball out there.
Yeah.
Tough enough to hit, much less catch. Now Jake Bowers. Fouled back and out of play.
That's how I always felt about knuckleballers. You know, a guy with a good knuckleball, forget hitting. Just try to catch the thing. I mean, he'd wear your shins out. And you think you got a beat on it, it's off your wrist, hit you in the shin. You know what? Go play catch with somebody else. Tony Kemp feeling that right now.
0-2 on Bowers. Yeah, Kemp has had a couple of plays that were not exactly routine. Came in and made the catch to end the first when the Rays loaded the bases on a softly hit ball into left, but it had enough hang time to give him time to use his speed and get there. And ball that Echeverria hit, a great breaking ball action on it. He wound up sitting down when he made the grab.
You know what? And in his defense, off the bat, I thought that ball was getting into the gap. I thought that was going to short hop the wall in left center. I mean, that ball was well struck, came off the bat hot. And you thought, you know what, even with his speed, he's not going to get there. And then.
Yeah. And it can be cozy out there, too. You see that 362 marker.
He can run around the corner.
The Crawford box is protruding onto the field there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. See, there they are. It's 3:15 down the line. And the scoreboard out there is 19 feet high. And then you drop back to 362. And you've got to hit it 25 feet to get it over that yellow line. And ball 4. Puts Bowers on for the third time, a double and 2 walks.
And another 2-out walk here by Charlie Morton. Just continues to hand the Rays opportunities and base runners and extended innings.
4 walks in this game and a hit batter, which matches the trend that we've seen in his line the last 3 or 4 outings for Houston.
Let's see, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all 5 of those freebies have come with 2 outs.
Yep. He's walked Ramos twice. See if he can groove one to Ramos. Over to first, and Bowers is back in. There goes Bowers. The pitch, a swing and a miss. Throw down is not in time. And the Rays pick up a stolen base. And wait a moment. They're going to send Bowers back to first base. You know, he's had a difficult time getting his first big league steal. And thought he had one there.
Well, what do you send him back for? I mean, it was
like
just a play.
Take another look at that pitch and see what happened here.
Yep, there he goes. Swing.
Oh,
the
the back swing.
McCann.
Yep. So he still doesn't have that first stolen base. And a chopper right side. This is Altuve, and he floats the throw to first in time to get Ramos. A walk and a man left. Bottom of the 5th coming. It's 1-1.
Here at Minute Maid Park. Well, Evan Gattis has been on a tear. He was named AL Player of the Week, and there was a rumor going around saying that he was putting on a lucky hoodie between his at-bats, and so we confronted him about the rumor, of course, and he denied it, saying, no, that's not what happened. Craig Biggio came up to me and said, have you ever tried putting on a hoodie after your at-bats to stay warm, especially if you're DHing or if the roof is closed at Minute Maid Park? So he claims that it's not lucky, but he was caught wearing it in 100-degree weather in Kansas City, so I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, if it's not for good luck, it's a security blanket, and it's working out well for him. Gattis with a big road trip, as we mentioned, 10 games and 19 runs batted in. Fouls this one. What an interesting story, and I'm sure most of you heard a lot about it, but He was a pretty good baseball player coming out of high school and was set to go to Texas A&M and had second thoughts about playing at a major college program, and so decided not to and kind of wandered around for a while.
Wait a minute, wait, time out.
He truly did.
No, I believe that, but I have reservations about signing with a very prestigious and a top-notch Division I baseball program, and instead I'll just wander around for a while.
That's what he did.
I don't think that's the smartest of decisions.
Well, he wanted to see the country, and so he spent some time working odd jobs, and after a couple of years decided to play baseball again at a very small program, and eventually the Braves drafted him. So it took him a little while to settle in, decide that he truly wanted to play baseball, but in the meantime he saw a little bit of America on his own.
There was the quick pitch, by the way.
It's fouled away.
Well, I just think that if there ever comes a time that Jackson comes home, says, Dad, you know, I got a scholarship to play at one of the top baseball schools in all the country, and instead of doing that, I'm just gonna go wander around for a while. It's gonna be a tough conversation.
Well, I think his folks had the same reaction.
and you would too.
Yes. Oh yeah. The bottom line is he's going to do what he's going to do, and so he took odd jobs to support himself. And
so the beard does tell a bigger story.
Oh, it tells a
here.
great story.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
does.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
Swing and a miss on the fastball at 96. He's out number 1 in the 5th. The fastball to finish him off. Challenged him up. Fourth strikeout of the game for Eovaldi to begin the 5th inning. Brian McCann, that was the Reader's Digest version of the adventures of Evan Gattis, but you get the general idea.
I would have told him just go ahead and go wander around College Station.
He may have for a week or so. Wound up in Colorado for a while. That's a strike. Said Colorado, one of his favorite places. He loved the altitude. High popper. It's going to be out of play. 1 and 2.
You know, that in and of its own way explains even more. I think I want the full version of the story on the flight back to Tampa.
Yeah, very detailed.
Yes.
There's a cut and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. It's number 5 for Eovaldi. Well, visit a local participating 7-Eleven store. Pick up a rate discount coupon for a $7.11 ticket to the game Friday against the Yankees. Keep saving with $5 Budweiser and Bud Lights exclusively on the Budweiser porch. Ages 21 and over, please drink responsibly. I don't know the count to Tony Kemp. Out to short. Scoop by Echeverria. Throw to first. Boy, Kemp will make it close. You'd better be perfect with that guy. Close play there. Echeverria got him just in the nick of time. So 3 up and 3 down. AJ Hinch wants to check with his video people, and he says, hey, you made the right call. So at the end of 5, the Rays and the Astros are tied 1-1. And here's another look. Rays picked up their run on the attempted steal by Malik Smith. He's going to third on that ground ball to third and scored on the overthrow from Gurriel. And the Astros struck in the bottom of the fourth on the 1-1 pitch to Jose Altuve. The breaking ball out for a home run, his 6th of the year. And we go to the 6th inning now with Joey Wendell stepping in against Charlie Morton. Rays 1 and the Astros 1. Wendell's been hit by a pitch and struck out swinging. That's the fastball there. He got 3 breaking pitches in the third from Morton, and he struck him out.
Yeah, so of course he starts him out with a fastball up and away.
Yeah.
Not allowing him to settle into any train of thought.
And back to the breaking ball. He pops it up foul. Bregman will not have a play. Over to the railing. An 0-2 count on Wendell. Adames next, and then Smith. The Rays started the day in third place by a half game up on Toronto. Blue Jays beat the Atlanta Braves in Toronto, a 5-4 final. So right now the Rays and the Blue Jays are tied for third in the East. One ball, 2 strikes. Yankees started with a game advantage over Boston. The Rays in Toronto a ways back there, 15.5 off the pace. Hey, we did figure this out. The Rays have been on the road so much in the first half, and they're more than halfway through their road schedule now. Here we are, the 3rd week in June.
Yeah, they're tied for the most road games in Major League Baseball. It was San Francisco.
Wendell on the ground to first. Gurriel looks it into that big mitt, steps on the bag. 1 away.
But the Giants were at home today. So the Rays, after this ball game, will have played the most. What's the month where we get to live at home? We get to unpack the suitcases.
I know. I'll tell you, the first 4 road trips were 3 city road trips. And then this one, a tough one to go to New York and Houston to play these 2 clubs. The Rays get back home for 9. There's a strike. Adames 0 for 2. Nothing in 2 now. One ball, 2 strikes. Morton making his 90th pitch of the ball game, and it's low and outside. 2-2. .26 pitch first inning, and the Rays left the bases loaded. And a run in the 4th. Will be out of play. Alex Smith to be next. He scored the only run for the Rays. The other run for Houston came on the home run by Altuve. Altuve missed the breaking ball. 2 gone.
Well, everything from Charlie Morton has a tendency to be hard and sharp, and this one right here took a little bit off, got that breaking ball into the upper 70s, and got Willie well out in front.
Now the bases are empty with 2 outs. 4 strikeouts for Morton, 3 coming on the breaking pitch. Too much time taken by Morton out there for Malik Smith, who requests time, receives it from the plate umpire Nick Lentz. That's a young umpire out of Holland, Michigan. 1 ball, no strikes. But not many complaints back there by the hitters. With Lentz calling the balls and strikes.
No, we've had a couple of games on this road trip where there have been many complaints from both sides. Some inconsistencies.
Two and 0. Pat Hoberg, he was the umpire last night, now at third tonight. And now strike 2 and 1. Bounce to second for Altuve. And it's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Morton. It'll be the top of the order coming up for Houston. Messi's quest for World Cup glory continues. Argentina looks for a crucial win against Croatia. All the action kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, and 10 a.m. Pacific. Or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Top of the order, George Springer in for the 3rd time. Nathan Eovaldi Delivers, and the pitch is fouled out of play. Springer caught looking, called out on strikes on a pitch in the first and popped to short in the third inning. Baseball up and by Springer at 97. Pitch coming up and in. Foul. Nothing in 2. So Brad Peacock out there in the bullpen a moment ago. Pitched an inning and a third last night for Houston. And a 2-strike count on Springer.
Big inning here for Eovaldi, for obvious reason. At the top of the order for the third time. Starting to get late, tied up at 1.
High shot, getting deep into left center field. That ball is out of here. Springer hits number 15 to make it 2-1 Houston. That came on an 0-2 pitch. And there was no doubt about contact.
See where Wilson Ramos is. They want it in, and you see how he's reaching back out over the heart of the plate. And Eovaldi knew it, so did Springer. That ball well struck. And I mean, that thing got out of here deep, up over the 404 sign, up off the wall out there.
Now Bregman takes a strike. So a pair of solo home runs for Houston from Altuve and now Springer. There's a high fly ball to left. Smith looking up, and this one is out of here into the Crawford boxes. Bregman with his 11th home run, and they go back to back. Springer and Bregman opening the bottom of the 6th.
Slider. That slider stayed up around the belt. Didn't have a lot of depth to it. Not a lot of over.
Well, the fastball is in there at 98. Altuve, the hitter.
And both of these guys comparing notes. Springer on the fastball, Bregman on the hang and breaking ball.
Altuve, who has doubled and homered, ahead in the count, 2-1. And there's a blast to left, and Altuve is going to hit one. Altuve goes deep. Springer, Bregman, and now Altuve. Second of the night for Altuve. A
think, Dwayne, that they have gotten him on 3 different pitches. I think that was the cutter there at 94.
And Correa into center field. That's going to be caught by Kiermaier. And after back-to-back home runs, finally the first out.
Altuve just so decisive with his swings. Aggressive, big, but quick.
Gurriel takes one inside. Three home runs within the spread of 7 pitches to give Houston a 4-1 lead. One to count on Gurriel. Pitch in on him and he fouls it away. 1-2. Springer was down 0-2 in the count. He hit one out. Bregman down 0-1 and he hit his out. And Altuve with the 2-1 count connected for his. We saw Pruitt, Austin Pruitt throwing in the bullpen a moment ago. Foul right back over the screen. Count holding. This chopper foul. Houston playing long ball tonight. 96 home runs as a team for Houston. And the chopper to the right side. Adames handles that to get Gurriel. So 2 gone after the home run barrage. The blast by Altuve.
Boy, 443 feet. Boy, did it get out of here lickety split.
Strike the count to Reddick. 6th time in Astros history they've hit 3 home runs in a row. 0-2.
That's what makes these guys so dangerous. You were able to hold them down last night, hold them down the first 5 innings here tonight. Starting to look like you got a good plan against these guys. You're able to go out and execute it, and then all of a sudden a couple of mistakes, and they cash in the biggest way possible.
Well, the last time they did that was against Milwaukee. Tejada, Bergman, and Lee, Carlos Lee. And they've hit 3 home runs in succession here in the 6th inning tonight. Foul outside of first. So Houston with 4 runs, 7 hits. Five of their hits for extra bases. A double and 4 home runs. And a soft liner caught by Adames. A few steps into the outfield for it. Inning is over, but not before. George Springer hits an 0-2 pitch out. Bregman hits one out on 0-1. And Altuve ahead of the count 2-1. Makes it 3 straight. 4-1 Houston.
Sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
4-1. 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning for Houston on home runs by Springer, Bregman, and Altuve. Back to open the bottom of the 6th. And the Rays find themselves down 4-1. Charlie Morton out of the game, and Brad Peacock will make his 30th appearance of the year.
Big strikeout numbers, a low opponent's average. He's done a little bit of everything here for A.J. Hinch and this Houston Astro pitching staff.
And the first pitch is lined off the bat of Carlos Gomez and caught by Carlos Correa.
And a real good thing it was hit right at him, because that was a missile. Absolute missile off the bat of Gomez. Barely got out of the box.
Johnny Field. The pitch is a strike. Two.
Peacock appeared in 34 games a season ago, had 21 starts, but you could see just by virtue of his arm angle and his arsenal why A.J. Hinch and Brett Strom would feel like he is well suited for the bullpen.
1-2. Reaching and is out on strikes.
And really the sidearm fastball that gets a low 92, 93, 94, and then he'll sweep that slider. Watch where he releases it, and then at 81 miles an hour just shoots it straight across the bottom of the zone and off the plate. He'll mix in an occasional curveball and a changeup against the lefty. See if he does it here with Kiermaier, or sticks with the hard stuff.
Kiermaier 0 for 3. And the fastball to begin. The at bat is a little close. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. Echeverria on deck. Little tap right side. Peacock with the toss to first in time. And the Rays are out in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. 4-1 Houston. Rays Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Rooms to Go. And by your local Honda dealer. Rays wrapping up this 3-game series in Houston. Both starters now out of this game. Nathan Eovaldi working 6 innings, allowing 4 runs, all on home runs. 7 hits total. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 5. Charlie Morton leaves with the lead. 6 innings, 2 hits and a run. He walked 4 and struck out 4.
Well, you think about Charlie Morton too in his last few starts. The Rays given some opportunities early on. They had 5 base runners left on base through the first 3 innings because, you know, of those walks and a hit batter. Just could not cash it in, and now find themselves trailing 4-1.
Austin Pruitt facing Evan Gaddis, and he gets a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Fly ball up the right side. Field, a long run still coming, and that ball's going to drop. It's fair, and Gaddis will wind up at second base. Now Bowers was trying to get down there from first, and Field just could not get there. That was a towering pump fly down the right field line.
And look where Johnny Field is starting from. He's well off the line and playing deep out there in right center. Long run. Boy, trying the sliding catch right there. Not only does it elude the glove, it stays in play.
Gaddis winds up at second, picking up the 8th hit of the night for Houston. And 1 hitter in. They have a man in scoring position against Pruitt with Brian McCann, the veteran catcher, in the batter's box. A ball, no strikes. 1-1. Pruitt trying to keep Houston right where they are. Rays with a couple shots left. Starting to get late. Ground ball first. Runner will go to third as Bowers steps on the bag. McCann is the first out. Gaddis now at third base. Tony Kemp will bat. Couple of ground balls from Kemp tonight. Great speed. The infield is up. Pruitt jumping out in front.
You sort of think about swing and miss offerings from Austin Pruitt. You think about that curveball. Another guy that can spin that pitch very, very well. Saw it right there.
That's a base hit. Shot through the drawn-in infield. Gaddis will score, and now they're going to have the runner hung up. The throw back to first. He is out trying to get back to first. He drives in the run. Bowers puts the tag on him in the aftermath of the RBI single, making it 5-1. So Gaddis, who opened with the double, scores the run, and who's that base hit and the play to get him?
Well, a changeup that he was able to dribble into right field, and Johnny Field there. Damas back to Bowers. Just caught himself in no man land.
9-4-3 on the out at first.
And he's thinking about two, then maybe not. Well, I'm kind of caught now.
Springer fouls it back, 1-1. So 5 runs, 9 hits for Houston. Braves with a run on 2 hits tonight. Two and one. The pitch is fouled up the right side, out of play. Well, both the Rays pitchers tonight with a Houston connection. We were born in Plano, but went to high school in the Woodlands here, just north of Houston. Went to University of Houston. And he gets a strike right there. And the count is full on Springer. Upstairs for ball 4. Well, the cricket smile of the game, featuring the 3 blasts from Springer, Bregman, and Altuve in the 6th inning for Houston.
There's nobody on the Rays side of the ledger that's smiling at this. It's a 1-1 game. And we talked going into that inning how big it was. It was the 3rd time through the order, starting off with George Springer, and 1, 2, and 3 left the yard.
And all of that within the span of just 7 pitches. So quickly it turned into right center. Kiermaier on the run, and he gets there, crisscrossing with Field to retire the side. A run scores. We're going to go to the 8th. 5-1 Houston. Show presented by your local Honda dealers. Rays will open that weekend series against the New York Yankees. And Orestes will be breaking down Matt Duffy. He's been among the league leaders in the top 10 in hitting, leading the Rays in that department. Getting the night off with the day off tomorrow. It'll give him 2 days in a row. And as we go to the 8th, Chris Davinsky is the new pitcher, making his 30th appearance. Now Danny Echeverria is going to lead it off. Echeverria nothing of 3 tonight, and lines a base hit into left field. So he's aboard. Jake Bowers, who's been on base 3 times with a double and 2 walks, will head to the plate.
Well, the Rays need base runners. Down 4 runs, got 6 outs to play with. And this Houston Astro bullpen has been very, very good lately, but they've had their struggles this year.
Houston putting the shift on for Bowers. Pitch is in there for a strike. The Rays have seen Morton and Peacock and now Davinsky. Pitch is inside. Boy, when you think about their World Series win last year, of course, McCullers gave them a lot of big relief innings in the World Series, but so did Morton and so did Peacock, who worked an inning here tonight. Now Davinsky, and the count goes to 1-2.
And he's got some deception in that delivery. You see him when he starts towards home plate, he really steps towards the on-deck circle over in front of the Astros dugout. Kind of opens himself up. That allows him to get some movement away to these left-handed hitters. That's where his landing foot goes.
And he has Bowers reaching, and he's out on strikes.
It was a great shot of it right there. He's on the far first base side of the rubber. Really opens up. And then watch this movement down and away.
Oh, Wilson Ramos. Ramos 0 for 1 with a couple walks. And there's a strike. Yeah, when you look at Davinsky and the changeup and the breakout, I mean, there are times when he'll throw the changeup more than any other pitch.
Oh, especially against lefties. Especially against lefties. Righties will see more fastballs and more sliders.
Ground ball softly hit left side. Out at second on the feed from Bregman and over to first to turn the double play. Bregman showing range as a shortstop coming off third, and take a look at this play. 5, 4, 3 and out. 5-1.
The Astros lead the Rays 5-1. Let's take a look at our Rocket Mortgage breakdown on Jose Altuve here tonight. 3 for 3, and he got it started in that first inning with the extra base hit, the double out into left center field. Solo homer in the 4th, solo homer in the 6th. 2 outs and nobody on. He gets that one out there deep into the left center field gap. That would just be the start of it. Then a home run there up on top of the railroad tracks, and then this was the big one. The 3rd of 3 straight to lead off that 6th inning, and Altuve took that one 443 feet off of a misplaced cutter. 3 hits in game 1 of this series, had the night off last night, did get an at-bat and lined out in center field.
Well, here he is to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. And goes after the first pitch and fouls it. How about this for trying to stay out of the hot zone?
Easy. Easy. I mean, he's good, but that's kind of ridiculous. Where do you go? Better chase.
Yep. 0-2, so prove it ahead of him in the count to open the bottom of the 8th.
Now, you know, he was hitting 337 coming into this series. I can't even imagine where he's at this point, the way that he has swung the bat.
He found this one out of play.
Well, and in the last, 5 or 6 seasons, his worst batting average is like 313. He's been up over 337. Well, now at this point, he's at almost 350, 348. I'll tell you, he just continues to hit.
Sends a high fly ball short center. Kiermaier makes the catch. And the Rays, after a double and 2 home runs, finally retire Altuve.
I think the thing that's most impressive about him, too, is when you see how thick his batting average is, how gaudy the numbers are. That's usually a slap type hitter. You know, a guy that's going to slap it the other way, find holes, and he will certainly do that. He'll find holes, but boy, does he swing the bat with some authority to have that kind of average.
Well, here's Carlos Correa. One ball, no strikes. One and one. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. And a cut and a miss. Correa's out on strikes. So 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. And now Yuri Gurriel. Pruitt, who was touched for a run in the 7th. It's 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. Gurriel 0 for 3 tonight. And he taps that one foul. Strike 1. Liner up the middle into center field, and Gurriel picks up his first hit of the night. That will give Houston 10 hits on the evening. Coming up, Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason. Rich and Doug will be along to anchor all the coverage. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and get minor league updates from around the Rays farm system. And recap the big night for Jose Altuve. A double and 2 home runs. Here's Josh Reddick. Pitch is a strike. Reddick popped to short, fouled out to Adames, and lined to Adames at second. Base hit into right. Gurriel will advance to second, and Reddick picks up a hit. So with 2 outs, 2 men on in the bottom of the 8th. And this Houston offense will not stop.
Now they start to wake up here, and it was the home runs that did it in the 6th inning. You know, the Rays kept them quiet last night. They kept them quiet the first 5 innings of this ball game. But all of a sudden they come out with those home runs. They've energized the crowd, and they've energized the other guys in this lineup.
Well, Evan Gattis dropped a double up the right field line in the 7th and scored an additional run, driven in by Tony Kemp. 1 for 3 tonight, Gattis. There's ball 1 outside. Now a strike. 1-1. Seattle had a 5-0 lead on the Yankees in New York. The Yankees have tied that game. They're coming in to hit in the bottom of the 9th. Wave and a miss. On a reach, 1-2. Tapper, third base fair, stepping on the bag. Wendell. So 2 men left. They do not score, and we'll go to the 9th. Wendell's going to lead it off, followed by Adames and Smith.
Their final chance as they trail at 5-1. Let's take a look at our Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game, and that is the range here of Alex Bregman going all the way out in front of Carlos Correa. That shovel flip to Altuve to get out of that spot right there, get the double play on Ramos. That ball was not hit sharply, but still impressive how far he went to his left in getting that thing started. I'm sure Carlos Correa said, hey, I could have done that. It was right there. You didn't have to Kelly Leak me.
You know, essentially, they have two shortstops on the left side of the infield, what they have.
Yes, I absolutely would agree. I mean, defensively, they are one of the top units in all of Major League Baseball. We've already talked about the versatility. Just in this series alone, we've seen Bregman in left field, third base, and second base. It's in a 3-game span.
Ken Giles, the new pitcher, their closer. And Wendell goes after the first one, hits it on the ground to Altuve. So 1 pitch and 1 out. Giles, 27 years old. Morton 6, Peacock 1, Dubinsky 1, and now Giles. There's Willie Adames, really looking for his first hit of the night. The fastball comes in wide. Fly ball back into right center field on the move. Reddick is there to haul it in. 2 gone. And Malik Smith will be coming up. Malik scored the run for the Rays back in the 4th. That's been it for them offensively. Scattered 3 hits. 43,409 here in Houston tonight. Their 5th sellout of the year and the largest regular season crowd since opening day of 2016 against Cleveland. Pitch to Malik Smith is a strike. They've distributed somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000 replica championship rings tonight.
We've taken this everybody gets a trophy a little too far.
Well, not everybody. 43,409, only 40,000 replicas.
Except this is the 2nd time they've done it.
0-2 count. Bit of that one foul. Braves will be headed home. Day off tomorrow. They open the series Friday against the Yankees. It's upstairs. 1-2. Giles in his 3rd year here in Houston had 34 saves last year. He's trying to finish this one, no save opportunity. Well, it takes it down. 2-2. Will be out of play, slicing into the stands. now full count. Rays dropped the first game 5-4, won last night 2-1, and trail 5-1 tonight. And ball 4. The Rays pick up a walk and a base runner with 2 gone.
All he's trying to do there is throw a strike in a full count, nobody on, and just yank that badly.
Now Carlos Gomez. Here's Gomez one more at bat here in Houston. The crowd has been booing him throughout the series. He fouls it back, strike 1. Well, last year for Giles, when he picked up the saves we mentioned, the opposition hit over 300 off him on his fastball and 131 on the slider. Giving up a 2-out walk. It's fouled back. 0-2. And a liner into center. There's a base hit. That sends Smith up to second base. The Rays put 2 men aboard. So they're battling.
And this team never quits. They play so many tight games, and even when they don't, like here tonight, they're not going quietly. Get another base runner, this thing's going to get weird.
Field 0 for 3. 26 on the year for Johnny Field. Missed the slider.
And you wonder if Giles will stay with it. Those 2 swings by Johnny Field, he pulled off both of those sliders badly. You got to try and tell yourself to stay in there. Start thinking up the middle. Something. Give yourself a chance.
It's a bit wide. He took it just outside. 1-2.
But he started to leak just a little bit again too.
Walking a single with 2 outs, 2 on. 1-2 the count to Field. And he's out on strikes. Well, that's going to do it. No runs, a hit, 2 left. 5-1 the final, and we'll be back in a moment.